This is Moments with Fu with James Fu Torres, better known as Fu, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet, hear their stories, and get the most important business lessons they have learned on their road to success, and get exclusive advice on how to implement their success into your life and business. Moments with Fu is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Fu.
Hello, this is your host, James Fu Torres, but you can call me Fu. And this is Moments with Fu. And today I have Zeahlot, which he is a coach of elite seven-figure plus entrepreneurs. And she helps them find clarity with relationships, money, and control in their business. So first, I want you to introduce yourself so the audience can know who's talking to. So if you can tell us who you are and what you do, that would be great.
Hi, James. It's good to be here. Just like you said, my name is Zeahlot. Fun fact, my name is the only one in the world, and I absolutely love helping seven-figure plus elite entrepreneurs just find happiness and peace, right? With all the bullshit going on in relationships with money, control, and, as elite entrepreneurs, we get up the mountain, and then when we're on the mountain, we're like, whoa, hold up. I thought this was it, but then there's so much more. So that's what I help with.
Thank you for sharing that. And now, if you can tell us a little bit about why did you choose to go to this route?
Yeah, it's interesting. I actually was a barber. I actually was a hair and makeup artist and barber. I'm a licensed Cosmo of 17 years. I got licensed when I was 17. So I was fading people up, and I was real good at it. I was real good. And then people were like, yo, you're really good at conversating. So what do you think? And I was like, yeah, you're right. So I went back to school. I became a psychotherapist. I've been licensed for many years. And you know what? I transitioned from it. And then I was like, I can help a lot more people being a coach. So that's literally my entire journey, but I could still fade up pretty good. So if somebody needs a haircut, they need a conversation, or they need to get like a boo and they're making seven figures, I got you. So that's a little bit about why. But the bigger reason, Fu, is because I personally have a mission in my life and a purpose, and I want to die more healed and wounded. And people are like, what? And I'm like, yes, I want to die more healed and wounded. And my mission in life is to help others do the same. So if I can help other people do that, I've done my job. That's it. That's my why.
Awesome. I it's so interesting, right? How do you we're like doing like fades and stuff, and for me, I can see it because every time that I'm with my barbers, it matters to me a lot, like having a conversation. It's a thing. It's a thing. Like that's our, like for guys, it's usually like that's our place, right? Like we get get fades like every 2 weeks or so, and like that's where it becomes like your barber is like your family almost, right? It's like, oh, you become faithful because you don't want to like mess up your hair. So people were opening up to you, and then you were saying some things that they were taking off, I'm guessing, and they were like, damn, like you're pretty good at this.
That's it exactly. But then, when you combine, I got street hustle, but I got book hustle, and I got street smarts. So when you combine all of that, and I have like 10 plus years in university and graduate school and all this stuff, but if I'm honest with you, all those papers on the wall, I could probably wipe my ass with it now. What really matters, right? What really matters is, can you help somebody get what they want? Some people, they make real good money, but at the end of the day, do they have that loved one next to them? Do they got their ride or die? Can they trust somebody? Do they have a healed relationship with their moms? That's what matters right there, and that's what I help with. And people are like, yo, can you really do that? Yeah, but you got to work through your stuff. And that's where it really gets interesting. So I'm excited for the questions. What you got, James?
Yeah, this is great. So first I want you to share some, given this expertise that you have, some actionable tips that people, like the audience, can really take home and maybe talk to their parents or just do an analysis for themselves. So any tips that you have that people can apply right now, that that would be great. And it could be in business or personal.
Yeah, 100%. So if I'm speaking to my peoples, right, and you're a business owner, you're killing it in the game, it's just there's things that are still missing, right, in your life. The number one tip I'm gonna give you is any single time you have a challenge within your company, within your business, within your job, your relationship, or with your friends, you ain't got no problems there. That's not the issue. The issue is unprocessed primary caretaker problems. What does that mean? You still haven't processed yet the mommy and daddy stuff. We don't got marriage problems. We don't got business problems. We got our own internal things that we haven't worked on yet. So if you got a problem right now with a contractor, with a family member, with a team member that you're like, hey, this isn't working out, we have to take responsibility first and be accountable to what's coming up for us. That's the biggest tip. And that deserves a lot of inner work.
Yeah, definitely. I'm even here like reflecting on my own stuff. You got me thinking
Yeah.
about my own situation, and that's good because that's what I'm looking for, right? In this podcast, I'm aiming to really educate myself and having interesting conversations with people that are having success on multiple areas in business and in personal lives. And this is something that it definitely doesn't get talked about enough, and lately has been a push for it, but and I'm glad that there's people like you that are going for it. It's like, yeah, there's business, and it's not like a hoo-ha or like all like just like words and that's it. It's actually what's the science behind it, like identify the triggers, identify the real problems, like which often lies within us instead of like being in the outside. So
Yeah,
thanks.
100%. It's funny, James. Somebody actually said, like, yo, with so much going on in the entrepreneurial world, somebody should create a podcast about mommy and daddy issues. And that's exactly what mine is. So you got it.
Yeah, it's definitely something that it's needed because like majority of our personality and our triggers, and like I said before, it's based on how we were raised, and all like how was our relationship with our parents and like our family in general, like the traumatic events that happen, the all that really formed your personality and the person that you are right now. And now that we're adults, we have the responsibility to now, okay, our parents did as best as they could, because they also have been carrying their own traumas and their own limitations, like mentally, physically. So yeah, definitely, it's something that hits home because for me, me and my mom, we have a difficult relationship, and she rather me be in military, like in the Air Force, would stay there instead of being a business owner. But that's just how she was raised, how what she knows. So I don't really judge her. It's hard to communicate sometimes, but she's doing as best as she can. And she's a great mom, and she loves me. I have no doubt of that. So she just wants the best for me, and she doesn't want me to suffer.
Right, that's right. I agree.
Yeah, awesome. So now, so the next question: is there any particular big challenge that you would like to share that might be relatable or might be something that you overcame that could help somebody to either avoid it, or if they're in that situation or they ever come to that problem, they can overcome it?
Yeah, that's a real great question. Here's what I'll say to that. I've always overcome everything. I was always like a straight A student. I got this. Like, if there's a challenge, like I will overcome. Until 7 months ago, my dad passed away. And I was right about to hit seven figures, and boom, my dad dies. And I have this whole ass company, and I got two of them. And my dad passes away, and I'm like, whoa. I had to take a step back. I had to grieve, which is the question, what's the hardest thing you'd ever have to overcome, which is grief. And I have to share with all of you, like, the biggest tip or the takeaway is that I was already in therapy for 8 years. And I want to be clear, like, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Like, you got to keep going in there, and it's a tool. A lot of people, there's stigma around mental health. They're like, nah, bro, like, I'm not crazy, I don't need that. But for me, it was a precautionary, because if I didn't have that and then my dad passed away, I would have just crumbled. I would have just let my business go. I would have been a huge amount debt, but that's not the case. 7 months later, like, I'm still thriving, like, I'm still climbing, but it's because I prepared in advance, and my therapist and I was like this. We had a good relationship. So that's my biggest tip, and that's the biggest thing I had to overcome, grief.
Nice, nice, awesome. Like that's definitely something tough. I lost somebody that was like really close to me to suicide. So that's a little extra, and it's something that I still it's a marathon, like you said. Like I keep dealing with it, and because we were raised together. He was my cousin, but we really were like more like brothers. Like we did a lot of like first things together as teenagers and stuff. You know what I mean? Like we were raised together. And losing someone that important now, it's like, oh, I want to talk to him about basketball. I want to talk to him about stuff, and it's something that because I worked a lot on like on my mental, like my mental health and stuff that definitely helped. And now moving forward, I something that I get deeper and deeper into it. So I completely agree with you. It's something that you shouldn't be like, oh, when something traumatic happens, then I'll go look for help. It's better to prepare your mind already. Like, people will die. That's something that you should take as like, you should get used to it. Like,
Oh,
obviously it's not gonna
yeah.
be easy, but
True. They always say that there's two things guaranteed in life, death and taxes, right? So
yeah.
let's prepare for both. Yeah, I agree.
Definitely, definitely. That saying, it always gets me. To be honest, it always gets me because it's so true. That's something that we gotta think, and that's it's something that it's up on us to take responsibility, not because like, oh yeah, I wish I would have been raised different and I would have been having like the resources and have taken to therapy when I was younger. But whatever happened, right? Like if the past is
Right.
the past, you can't do anything. So the best that you can do is just start today. No, don't leave it for any other time. Just start today. Like whatever your situation is, doesn't matter how old you are, start today.
I agree. For me, like as a kid, like therapy as a growing up Latina was just like no llores, don't cry, and that's it. That was your best therapy. But now we have options, especially as entrepreneurs. And I feel that if more of us that are just killing it in the game, 7, 8 figures, were to see how much more we could do with that, the world is your oyster. Yeah.
Definitely. And one thing that I want to say here for business owners, entrepreneurs that listen to this podcast is that something that I did that helped me to really put more effort efficiently into my business was like I wanted, as entrepreneurs we always have like, especially starting up startups, we're like, damn, we have like a million things to do. Like I want to go to the gym, but I want to do this stuff, but like time, always like time. So one thing that I could suggest that I like saying this everywhere that I go is like I started doing yoga. And I know yoga is not for everybody, but I encourage people to try it. I tried this 14-day challenge from it's called Boho Beautiful, BOHO. I tried that, and it was super, like she's talking and she's kind of like coaching there, and it's like 15 to 25 minutes only, and you can cover meditation, exercise, and stretches. So that's something that can help you, like kind of a holistic approach to do something quick and short. So then like you don't have to worry about, damn, I gotta separate a whole hour for the gym and then like getting there, getting back, all that stuff. So you can do that at your house and have like someone coaching you through the screen.
I agree. I
So
love yoga. I love it myself. And breath work too. It's pretty amazing.
yeah, definitely, and that's why I like the yoga, because it incorporates a lot of like just focus on your breathing. So it's so efficient in so short period of time. So it's great. I recommend it. So lastly, how can people find you in the internet so they can learn more about you and be able to contact you?
Yeah, thanks for the question. They can actually connect with me on Instagram through my handle, Zeahlot. So, fun fact, like I mentioned at the very beginning of the episode, my name is the only one in the world. So, if you literally type in Zeahlot, all of my stuff comes up because our branding's on point. So, you can find me there, Zeahlot, zeahlot.com, Zeahlot on Instagram, Zeahlot on Facebook, and on LinkedIn.
Your parents really did a good job there, giving you a unique name, huh? Like I bet that in the beginning, like when you're growing up and stuff, it's like, damn, my name is different, blah blah blah. And now you grow up and it's like, oh, thank God I have a good name, because it helps your branding. It's so easy.
You know what? It's funny you say that. My name is actually Aramaic, which is Jewish. I'm not Jewish, I'm Latina, but I look Middle Eastern. I look Persian. So when people see my name and then they see me, they're like, "Oh, you speak Spanish?" And I'm like, "Claro que sí," but they don't know. So surprise. Yeah.
Exactly what happened when I met you. It was like, wait, you speak Spanish? Like, I mean, I can see it now that you say it, but if or like that name, it's definitely not very Latino. Like it's not Hispanic, like to me at least, you know. But
Yeah.
I mean, my name is James Fu Torres, and I am from Puerto Rico. So I mean, who am I to say that, right? So,
Right. Right.
and it worked out for me too because now I go by Fu, and it helps. And like for me, you can put James L. Fu FOO, and then also it's just all me. So it's super, simple to find me. I also been doing my homework on my branding. So.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, this was great. It's a quick little time to spend here, and it's great to really hear this side of business that so often doesn't get talked to, and I think that people can really get to think into like, damn, like maybe I should work on my stuff, right, internally and everything. So. Um,
Really make more money. That's it. More will come.
exactly. Not there's just having abundance mentality and everything, right? So thank you for taking the time to be part of my podcast. This was great, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that we're gonna do other things together. Like I really like your vibe, and yeah, I'm looking forward to keep talking to you about other collaborations that we can do.
Likewise. Thank you, Fu.
Perfect. So yeah.
See you. Gracias.
Thanks for listening to Moments with Fu with your host, Fu. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest business advisement on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we will see you on the next episode.